This is a very special lab. We, because we're so strongly linked to the real world, is trying to bridge between fundamental work and real world issues. We look at those real world issues and try to, working with people who are in the real world, flying planes and doing things like that, to understand what challenges they're facing.
Situation awareness is a critical skill for pilots. And it also involves a number of cognitive processes. The ability to form accurate mental models of the world around you is very critical. One pilot once said to me that you should never be anywhere in your aircraft that your mind has not already generated or created minutes beforehand.
Situational awareness is more than just geographic. Situational awareness is also being extremely aware of what is going on in the cockpit in terms of your instruments, in terms of the behavior of the aircraft, where you're coming from and where you're going and what's happening all around you.
The simulation flying that I did 2 or 3 years ago with this study was challenging and interesting. We started doing circuits, and other traffic was introduced, which was a bit of a surprise. I wasn't quite sure what to expect. And trying to remember where that traffic was, checking, I guess, our situational awareness.
We also measured 2 main outcomes that we thought would be of relevance to the aviation community. One was the number of critical incidences that occurred. So while a pilot was flying, anytime perhaps there was loss of separation with another aircraft, touch and go, not in the proper area of the runway, coming too close to the side of the mountain, becoming lost, any of these critical incidences were kept track of.
One surprise that got me alert was I was on final for the landing and an airplane had taken off heading straight for me. So of course, obvious thing that they're looking at is what is my reaction, what am I going to do about it?
What we had created was what we called a surprise runway incursion scenario. So pilots didn't realize that this was happening, and it was a complete sort of shock to them. As they were coming in for a touch and go, upon approach, there was an offending aircraft on their runway that was actually coming towards them, and they had to notice that that aircraft was there, and then detect that instead of taking off in the proper direction, it was actually coming towards them. And they had to notice that, and they were scored with respect to the timing and the quality and the outcome of this event. Cognitive health, it does change over time, and it is somewhat predictable, but cognitive health is something that can change for you in a moment. So to measure cognitive health, we use 2 commercially available cognitive health screening batteries. So these tests gave us many different measures of cognitive health. These were computerized tests. Everyone did it on a computer. They were touch screen. And again, everybody was allowed to practice so that they were quite well versed with the task before we started recording their performance.
We've had situations here where we have pilots that, they've slipped on the ice and they've banged their head, or they've been playing hockey and they've got concussed, and they can't fly because there's some concerns about the concussion. And we're looking at that as well, saying, it may not just be an aging process, it may be head trauma of some kind.
We think that the results of this study really apply to anybody of any age, any pilot of any age, because cognitive health can be an issue at any point along the lifespan.